Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit-Down. Now, I've seen Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, and there's one sequence in this movie that is just beyond mind-blowing. Like, the lengths that one would have to go in order to pull off this sequence practically is pretty insane. But when it comes to Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie, they cook up insanity and deliver wonderful cinema. And this sequence is exactly that. But it was one of these things where I saw Paramount had released like a behind the scenes on what was going on with this sequence. And I said, I need to watch me that after I see the movie. Well, I've seen the movie. Now I want to watch that. What are we talking about? Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat? We are getting ready to take a look at the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 Train Stunt behind the scenes from Paramount Pictures. I'm pumped to see what Chris McQuarrie and Tom Cruise have to say with this one. I've heard things about this sequence, but to physically see some behind the scenes shots and, you know, hear them talk about it is something I'm really excited about, because while knowing it's practical, there are definitely CGI elements. We've seen this plenty in the Mission Impossible movies where, like, you know, Tom Cruise is doing a crazy halo jump for real, but, you know, a lightning storm would make that look a lot better, so you put that stuff in, but all the actual actions are real. And this is a train that goes off a cliff, and I heard Chris McQuarrie, like, couldn't buy trains or rent trains to destroy, so they had to, like, build train cars. Like, that's the type of stuff that, like, gets me immediately interested in something like this. I also have a video that doesn't come from Paramount Pictures, comes from a person who was on or near the set when this sequence was going down, that has some, like, different camera angles of the actual end of the scene with the train. So I'm pretty stoked to take a look at these. Let's not waste any more time, man. Let's get the behind the scenes on up and take a look at the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 Train Stunt behind the scenes. Let's go! Norway.
When we started talking about this movie in terms of a sense of adventure, an action sequence on a train was something we'd always wanted to do.
Train sequences are the best!
We wanted to build upon the previous films and apply all of that knowledge to something practical.
It's just like,
and bring this train sequence to another level.
look at this.
There was not a surplus of trains available.
Look at that.
To be
Built
wrecked.
trains.
Built a train if we wanted to destroy it.
That's amazing.
To shoot it practically was extremely challenging.
Like,
Not just to execute, but also to design all the different train cars. And it could actually function on a working railroad track.
it's nuts.
No one else in the world is doing this level of practical
Factual.
filmmaking, and it may never be done again.
Oh, it'll be done in the next one. Come on, Chris.
The train sequence takes us on an adventure. That's absolutely
Like they're
ridiculous.
going under.
We have this big fight on the roof,
nuts.
going 60 miles an hour through a real valley.
Absolutely nuts.
I've done fight scenes, but to do them on a moving train is trial by fire. That's how Tom likes to do things.
He's gonna now pull me off the train.
When you're hanging off a train carriage, Tom's a great
Just gotta
person
pull
to
me
have
off the
beside
train.
him. Not only is he fearless, he is always looking to see how it's going to land for the audience.
Commitment to cinema, man.
Crash in the train.
I see a little bit smaller cliff, but that's,
You'd be chasing the train as
it's gotta be a couple hundred feet.
Every single camera had exactly one shot at getting it right.
It's not just a matter of going off. Because if we do it all, we don't capture it right, what's the point?
Right? That's, the timing and everything for these things has to be, that's crazy! That's friggin' wild, man.
Everything you're seeing in this spectacular train sequence is done to invest the audience in these characters.
Like, that stuff.
Mission
That's what I want to
Impossible
see
is
how
the
they did
most
that. That's got some green
extraordinary
screen in there.
adventure franchise you've ever seen.
You can only do it with a team like this and with an actor like Tom.
Oh my gosh. I was hoping that they were going to show how they did that piece, because that's the piece where it's like, obviously we see the train go off that freaking cliff, and, you know, it's just the locomotive piece of the train, right? It's not all the different train cars. It's not Tom hanging off of the thing. So I was hoping we were going to see that. Now, this is a video labeled Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, detailed look into the train crash and the film set. So I'm probably going to just hop around a bit on this one. Let me do it this way. Alright, so let us take a look at this Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning detailed look into the train crash and film set from like a different angle. And you can see there's just like a person, and that's wild to look at though. Like 4 months earlier. Oh, you're building out the water that it's gonna fall into. Like I said, I'm gonna hop around a bit, because this is like obviously filming as well.
But this is a footpath, and you might be able to use this.
Alright, like it's crazy to think that they built all this stuff. Propulsion from a diesel engine in the tender. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, like I said, like you can see, like it's just that locomotive. Oh my gosh, that's so wild. I wanted to see how they did the back half of that stunt, because the back half of that stunt, is really what's the most cool. When you see Haley Atwell and Tom Cruise climbing up the one that's hanging, like that stuff is nuts. And then that leap that Tom does before he grabs the thing like he does in the trailer. So I was hoping that the video was going to give us a little bit of that. It didn't. And you know, the extra behind the scenes, just more of that train going off. But you could see in that first video that Paramount put out, that like they're up there, man. They're on that train. They're freaking moving and throwing people around, and like I would love. And it's like, I feel like DVDs don't even have behind-the-scenes features in them anymore. But, like, I would love a comprehensive behind-the-scenes of that entire sequence. Because that whole sequence is freaking bonkers. And, like, just the little bits that you could see in the one, like, from Paramount. Like, I mean, they're just, like, they're standing on this train that's moving at 60 miles an hour, and then like Tom's like, you know, he's gotta throw me off or pull me off of the train now. Like it's crazy, man. Like the lengths that they'll go to make this stuff look phenomenal. And S.A. Morales, like, you gotta give him credit, man, for getting up on a train to do this with Cruise. Like, pull me off the train. Like, that's just, it is nuts to look at. But like I said, I would love like a in-depth, like 5-10 minute behind the scenes on that sequence alone, because it's just nuts. I mean, I feel like the Mission Impossible franchise at this point, or I guess just about anything that Cruise does, like, you want tons of behind the scenes stuff, because seeing the actual execution versus what we get in the movie, like, that's the stuff that's cool to me. So that was pretty dope. Question is, what do you think, man? Have you seen Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 yet? Are you planning on seeing it? Does a scene like this make you want to see it in a theater more? What do you think, man? Like, how crazy is it that they built a train to chuck off a freaking cliff and do all the crazy things that they did with? While that behind the scenes obviously didn't give us everything, you saw them in the workshop building out the train cars and stuff. So, like, what about that do you appreciate in a movie like this? Anything you got, good, bad, indifferent, on the behind-the-scenes looks at Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1's train stunt sequence put them down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man anytime we're talking movies, TV, trailer, reactions, you want to be here, you know, so you can see my full review on Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. You want to see anything else I got coming up. There's a bunch of movies that have come out recently that I have not had time to see. My life is nuts, so you want to be here to see what those are, or my thoughts. You dig the vibe, you want to show a little love and support. Well, hey, come join C-Maniac Nation. It's super easy. All you got to do, jump over there, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell if you want those alerts. Until next time, for the C-Man's Cinema Sit Down, I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace! Oh, you guys are still here. You snuck up on me. You must be looking for more of this guy. Well, I got 2 video options for you, man. Right up here and right over here. And if you want all those C-Man goodies, well, hey, come join the squad right on over there, and I'll catch you on the next one.